My name's Angus Ferrier. I grow stone fruit about 40 kilometres west of Stanthorpe. We're standing here in a block of red flesh plums this afternoon. We were successful in round one of the irrigation efficiency project. We used our $10,000 grant to duplicate our rising main and install a new backflow valve and water meter. That cost about $8,000. The remaining $2,000 was done to conduct a water efficiency audit, which is, I guess, another initiative of the project. Specific outcomes of our audit were that we found a lot of our dripper tubes were starting to get towards the end of their life, with emitters blocking up and not emitting as much as what they should, and not as much as we want them to, really. A second outcome of that was that areas of our orchard being on hills, top corners of each block were sometimes not pressurised enough, which only exacerbated the problem with emission rates and things like that. What else have we got? Probably the installation of a water meter has been excellent. Infrastructure we've never previously had, and has been really useful in determining how much water we're actually pumping, which gives us a bit of a gauge as to how much we might be using or losing from evaporation. That's probably it. Could highly recommend participating in the project. To have external sort of third-party people come on and have a look at your irrigation systems can be a really good eye-opener for some of the shortcomings of your system. And I guess when push comes to shove, we got a rising main and a water meter for not much money. So much appreciated.
Right, my name is Charlie Griffiths. I'm with Watermation Solutions, irrigation consultants based in Toowoomba. Just recently I was engaged to do irrigation system audit, several of them, as part of the REDP development project, and it was a very valuable exercise. We, as part of the system audit, we basically go through the whole irrigation system, starting at the irrigation pump, work our way up through the main lines, and then end up out in the paddock measuring emitter discharges and pressures and calculating uniformities. As a result of all of that, we come up with with a list of recommendations for the growers to improve their on-farm irrigation efficiency. A lot of these things have been taken up gleefully, and with excellent results. One of the things that we found on this job was that originally a concentric reducer was fitted at the inlet of the pump. With a horizontal suction lift, that's always very dangerous because air can become entrapped in the top part of that fitting, and that'll get into the pump, which will cause it to either lose its prime or cavitate, or both. And so Angus has changed that, and you haven't had any problems with it?
$300 fitting, job's done, no problem.
Another one that we found was that the fitting that was originally here on the discharge was a sudden enlargement, and it was actually cavitating as well. When at high flow rates, it was making an awful racket. So what Angus did is he put a more gradual reduction fitting on there, and the cavitation stopped immediately. So that certainly saved a lot of, improved the efficiency and improved the longevity of this system.
So just here we've got all the components that we used our first round of grant funding to buy. Flow meter, first time we've ever had one of them, and the first time I've been able to know that I've used 25 megs of water this year across about 12 hectares. New backflow valve, more efficient than the butterfly type and brand new, doesn't leak, all good stuff. A new 100mm rising main, easily halving our friction loss, and on Charlie's recommendation, recommissioning the existing 80mm main, giving us something like an extra 15 pound of pressure up at the orchard, which assisted where we had emitters that were underperforming and the higher parts of blocks that were not getting enough pressure. Recommissioning that 80mm main went a long way to helping solve that problem and reusing existing infrastructure.